guys, how are you? My name's Christian Trujillo from Porsche of Clifton Park. I have here our Porsche Classic Restoration Challenge project for 2023. We're looking at a 1987 Porsche 911 Cabriolet, and we're incredibly excited about this car, not only because we love the air-cooleds and because we actually work on a lot of the classics here at the dealership, but because of how we received the vehicle. We sold this vehicle about 6 years ago to a very good customer of ours. We're gonna call him Gary, and Gary was his name, but for privacy's sake, we're gonna leave his last name out of it. And very recently, Gary passed away. It's a very sad situation and very unfortunate, but at the time, his wife reached out to us to help her with the vehicle. She didn't know what to do with the car. We tried to lead her down a different path, but in the end, we ended up buying the vehicle. So one of the very cool things about the car that you'll notice is when Gary bought the vehicle from us, he started the project of really restoring the car himself. He got as far as having this wonderful paint job done, but that's really where it ended. You could see the wheels, you could see things that were in process, but once you start looking at the interior and the things that we're gonna be doing to the car, you're gonna see why this made such an awesome choice for us to do. You know, paint is done, beautiful Guards Red Porsche paint, looks wonderful, but a lot of the trim pieces need to be replaced. The top was fairly new, but the trim pieces and all the seals all need to get done. Once you start getting into the car, you're gonna notice a few different things. You know, as we open up here, the door checks are in need of some work. On the interior, you'll notice we're gonna need to either do new carpet or refresh the carpet depending on availability. The seats, the leather, we're gonna reupholster everything. You notice that the classic radio is not in there. We're gonna do a new classic radio, classic speakers, you know, probably some of the door handles here, steering wheel refresh, obviously the odometer we have out to get refreshed as well, so that all works properly and good. But you'll notice that this is a very cool car. You know, obviously the story behind it, we're gonna call it the Gary Project for us, to really pay respect and honor, you know, our customer who passed away recently, whose car this was. And, you know, we're gonna bring it to the condition that I think he always hoped to do. And we're really excited about that. And we're proud that we can actually not only compete in the Classic Restoration Challenge again this year like we did last year, but this time really have the history that we have with the car and with the customer. That's obviously clear. And it needs some love, and that's awesome because we love the air-cooleds. We know what we're doing with it. I personally have an 88 911 myself, so a lot of the stuff that we're gonna do on this vehicle comes from really my experience, our experience, you know, and we hope to really get far like we did last year with this specific project, you know, and obviously the heart that we have into it and what we plan on doing with it. You know, the beauty of this car is it does need all the mechanical refreshing that you will do to an air-cooled, fluids, filters, valve adjustments, and you know, we're happy to do all that stuff. And you know, as you drive, the G50 transmission, because it's an 87, you know, is awesome. You know, you got to really get used to those floor-mounted pedals, the floor hinge pedals, which are very cool. You know, once we get the classic radio in and the classic speakers, it's going to be awesome. And actually, I just heard we were able to source a brand new carpet set, so it's going to have brand new carpet in addition to, you know, bright, nice brand new leather. But you can hear, you know, some creaks, some rattles. You can see the mirror is shaking. It might actually fall out on us while we're driving, which would be cool. But these are all the things that we are actually going to be working on and fixing. Overall, wonderful starting piece for the Classic Restoration Challenge for 2023. And you know, this year we're going to be part of the preservation class, so we're really going to be bringing this car back. And the beauty of this specific car is, you know, of course, like we mentioned before, the history we have not only with the car but the customer and what he already did. I mean, he already spent over $30,000 on a paint job, so the paint is good. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. We need to refresh trim, interior. interior, engine. So we're doing it. This is the perfect slate for this project, and you know, our team is excited about it. This is always, like last year, it brought our team really tight and together on that project. You know, we were able to go out and we won our regional competition with the 2005 996 911 Turbo S cab. Car came out awesome. We're super proud of it, and you know, this one being an air-cooled G-body, we're really excited about it. You know, right now we have 2 of our technicians going through classic training. One of them, Chris Carroll, who's going to be working on this vehicle, he's really in the final stages of being full classic certification and classic certified. You know, with our new facility that's coming here in the next, you know, 18 months, you know, one of the goals of that facility is classic certified and be a classic center. You know, the amount of air-cooled vehicles and classics that we work on puts us in that category, which, you know, for us and our dealership, you know, we've been open for, you know, this year will be 12 years, which is crazy, and that time has flown by, and in that time we've grown pretty substantially, and we're really proud of it. You know, this new facility that's coming is really going to put us at a different level in so many respects, you know, but it's projects like this one, we do them, that keep on cementing what we do as a business, that really separates us from everybody else, not just here locally, but on a national scale. You know, very few dealerships participate in these challenges, but the ones that do go all in, you know, which is awesome. So when you're there competing, you're competing with the best of the best, and we're proud to say that we can compete at that level. We have the staffing to compete at that level, the skill, the know-how. You know, the customer who purchased the previous Restoration Challenge car from us, he's loving it. You know, in this one, we already have, you know, a substantial amount of interest, you know, especially because it's air-cooled. You know, people love that. It's got that nice history behind it. You know, and for us, this car does actually mean something. So we're really excited about it. When it's all done, and right now, the seals that are faded are making noise. If you look at the steering wheel, the vibrations behind it. We got new Michelin tires, N-Spec, you know, Porsche N-Spec tires coming for it. You know, really, you know, Porsche color crest for the wheels. You know, it's the details that always count. You know, you could clean this car up and make it look good, but we're gonna do way more than just clean it up. We're gonna restore it and preserve it back to where Gary wanted it, and to where we know we can compete with it. So it'll be very cool, and we're about to go over some train tracks here. Should be very cool. Give us an idea on the suspension. All right, that feels good, and from what we can tell, you know, I had the car parked next to mine, and it looks like this car already has had the torsion beam suspension lowered to the European sport setting, so that's why it has that nice aggressive look already, which is very cool. And let me just tell you, this G50 transmission, there's a reason why it's the sought-after transmission, and we're really feeling it right now. It's smooth. You know, car's not perfect, but these vehicles, as we all know, are generally quite bulletproof, and it feels real strong, real strong. You can hear a little bit of valve chatter. You know, I don't know if it comes over in the video, because I know there's a lot of background noise, but that's all stuff that we're going to take care of with heavy maintenance. Like I said, fluids, filters, valve adjustment. You know, we picked up the special 5-gas analyzer to be able to really get the air-fuel mixture in this car right. You know, by the time it's all said and done, it's going to be the nicest one out there in the market. It's going to be a keeper for somebody for sure. Nice. You can tell the tires are old though, and you can see on the outside it's not the prettiest day out there, but all right, and we're back. And you know, listen, we know that Gary would be proud of this car. He would, you know, he loved it at the time. I always tell the story, he had traded in an MG Midget. You and Gary was a tall guy. I want to say about 6'4", 6'5", and you know, he saw this car on the showroom back when we had it all those years ago, and he loved it. He fell in love, and what he really liked about it was that he could fit in it. And then he told us about his MG Midget that he had just recently restored, and we laughed because we all know the size of an MG Midget. It's not for anybody taller than 5 feet tall. And I remember we worked out a deal, we took it on trade, and it was kind of like having a cool little motorcycle, you know, and we donated that car to the local auto museum, the Saratoga Auto Museum, that year for their first Saratoga auto auction, and it worked out really well. But I remember driving the car up to the auto museum and how much of a challenge that was, but it was fun. It was like riding a motorcycle. I almost felt like I needed a helmet. But you know, after that, Gary took this car and really put it to work right away, literally almost right away. Started to have the car painted, you know, and it's a shame he never got a chance to fully enjoy the fruit of what he really wanted to have, so the fruits of his labor. But he was a good man, and you know, we hopefully will do him right and do him proud with what we're going to do with the car. So stay tuned, and as we progress, we'll have more pictures, more videos. We'll have a few events very much specifically designed around the car, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that in the end we win. You know, that's the point of being part of the challenge. So we'll talk to you soon.